We're the Jazz-Alachian Playboys on Roots2Rock.
We're trying to combine Appalachian music, bluegrass, maybe some old time, some folk kind of themes with jazz and swing and blues, and see how that works.
Roots2Rock is brought to you by Visit Bedford, Virginia's Festival of Trees, November 20th through January 4th at the Bedford Area Welcome Center. Visit bedfordva.com. The Berglund Center, tickets available for rent. The 20th Anniversary Tour on January 3rd. HometownBankTix.com. The Allegheny Highlands Chamber and Tourism. The Shenandoah Ballet presents The Nutcracker December 1st, and Allegheny Arts for All presents Three Redneck Tenors December 13th, both at the Historic Masonic Theater, historicmasonictheater.com. And Gentry Lock Attorneys, serving Lynchburg and Roanoke for more than 95 years, with 55 lawyers practicing in a wide range of disciplines. GentryLock.com. Now from Parkway Brewing Company in Salem, Virginia, the Jazz-Alachian Playboys.
Jazz-Alachian Playboys. Parkway Brewing in Salem, Virginia. Doing some original tunes here. Feature Eli Williams on a vocal here and on the guitar. It's called All I Need Is You. 1, 2, 3.
I get up in the morning time, reaching my pockets low, ain't got no dime. Come back home when the sun goes down. Life goes on in this old town. I don't care, girl, 'cause I got you. Stand by me, Lord, the way you do. I don't care what the world's gonna do. All I need is you. Baby, don't you know I love you so? Every day that goes by, love you more. Baby, don't you cry, fuss and moan. Daddy's gonna find his way back home. Fussing and fighting, Lord, it ain't my style. Need your kisses once in a while. I don't care what the world's gonna do. All I need is you. Baby, don't you know I love you so? Every day that goes by, love you more. Baby, don't you cry, fuss and moan. Daddy's gonna find his way back home. Fussing and fighting, Lord, it ain't my style. Need your kisses once in a while. I don't care what the world's gonna do. All I need is you. All I need is you.
Thank you, Eli Williams, vocal. Try a little quasi-Latin tune here called the Allegheny Funk. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Thank you so much. So try our hand at a little 30s style cafe ballad. It's called Appalachian Breeze. Appalachian breeze, sunsets through the tree, moonrise at its eve, shines on all its eve. But when the night is through and come the morning dew, I'm still missing you. Sleepless, lonely nights, I long to hold you tight. Empty, cloudy days, I wander through this haze. Oh, teardrops on my cheek, wonder can you be? I still miss you, can't you see? Lover, come back home to me. Bluebird serenade, this new life that they've made. They witness last parade. To them it's no charade, but when the night is through and come the morning dew, I'm still missing you. Sleepless, lonely nights, I long to hold you tight. Empty, cloudy days, I wander through this haze. Oh, teardrops on my dew. Where, oh, can you be? I still miss you, can't you see? Lover, come back home to me. Appalachian breeze, sunsets through the trees, moonrise at its eve, shines on all its eve. But when the night is through and come the morning dew, I'm still missing you. Thank you. Excuse us while we tune a little bit.
We'll get back to the live music in just a minute, but first I want you to meet Lezlie Snyder. She's the creative director at Parkway Brewery, and thanks for having us here today. We really appreciate you opening your doors to Roots2Rock.
Well, thanks so much. We're excited to do it.
Now, Parkway is one of the first craft brewers in the Roanoke region, and what always impressed me is you guys were everywhere in those early years. You were telling me a great story about how you got your name. How did the name Parkway Brewery? Because Salem is not near the Blue Ridge Parkway, so how did it come about?
Well, that's true. Well, when we were first thinking about opening a brewery, we wanted to find a name that would tie us to the region because we really wanted to showcase all the great things about the Roanoke Valley in Southwest Virginia. So we had a list of names, and we kept checking them off. They were already taken, or they just weren't quite right. And we were reading the newspaper one Sunday, and they had a big article about the 75th anniversary of the Blue Ridge Parkway. And I looked at my husband and I said, you know, Parkway, it's a great name, it's a great concept, you know, a road to fabulousness, and it's right by here, it goes through North Carolina. And he was like, yeah, I think that'd be perfect. And since we knew that, you know, the Parkway was having an anniversary, we figured that word's going to be coming up everywhere, and we'll just ride that one on to success. So it ended up being a great thing, and it was so weird because we fell into all these other connections with the Parkway. We were trying to name some of our first beers, and we had a friend that came in. He said, Parkway, that's a great name. My grandfather was one of the bridge builders for the Parkway. And I was, what are you talking about? He said his grandfather was David Vasilio. They came from Italy. They moved to Roanoke Valley. He built a lot of the bridges, the stone bridges that are iconic on the Parkway. So one of our first beers was Bridge Builder, blonde, and that was one of our favorite icons. He had brought me a photo that had his actual grandfather in it with the bridge behind him, and it became one of our biggest icons. And we love the whole idea of a road and traveling and a journey, and we figured if we're going to showcase this region and in Southwest Virginia, that the Blue Ridge Parkway is a perfect connection. And we talked to the Parkway people, and they were all for it too.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, I wonder if they would be interested in that, but it helped them out as well.
Yeah, that's great, because I called the woman down in Asheville, and she said they actually had that photograph that we did the art from gigantic on the wall in the tourism center, and she knew the Vasilios, knew the story behind it, and she said, go for it. You know, it's a great thing. And it's been great because in North Carolina, when we first went into North Carolina, we went in that region, and they embraced it immediately because it's, well, the Parkway.
Another thing I like about Parkway is when you're drinking from one of your bottles, the bottle is as pretty as the beer.
No, well, thank you.
So, and I know you're partly responsible for that. Tell us your concept for creating these beautiful, and I'm looking at them above us, these beautiful bottle labels.
Well, when we first started, we had our master brewer, his wife, just happened to be an artist, and we started talking about branding and what we could do to have an authentic feel. And at first we started talking about woodcuts and how we really liked the feel of a woodcut and how it looked. And she said, well, I can do paper cuts, and it's essentially the same thing. So I was like, okay, run with that. So she did us a paper cut for Bridge Builder, and I thought it was beautiful. I just loved it. So the first 4 beers, which are still our mainline beers, well, all but one, we had her do the paper cut. And then I have a graphic designer, Mike Domzalski, he puts the color on and does the type and kind of makes that piece of art look like Parkway art. And he's done a great job of tying it all together. And when I started using other local artists, when we started doing seasonal and one-off beers, I wanted to use as many local people as I could.
And you also do unusual partnerships, because I thought one of the most unusual partnerships was with Beth Macy and her first book, A Factory Girl Beer. So talk about why you do these partnerships like beer and books. And
well, books and beer just fell in our lap. Beth Macy is a friend of ours. Her family was huge supporters of the brewery when we first opened. Her husband and sons worked in the back on the bottling line when we first opened to help us out. Her son's band plays here. And when she came up with the book, Factory Man, we were sitting on my next door neighbor's porch talking about it and what a great concept it was. And I said, well, you know, this book, it's a regional book. It needs a local beer to go with it. And she was like, a beer for my book? And we all got excited. And, you know, her book was about the furniture industry. And my grandfather was a furniture man. His plant was right down the road where the county offices are. And I was like, oh, furniture's dear to my heart. Let's do this thing. So, you know, it was Factory Man with the book. I was like, well, you're our factory girl. Let's do it.
You all have become one of the best venues to see up-and-coming bands and great musicians. They come into the area and they stop here and play. Why was music important?
Well, my husband and I both were in the music business before we moved to Roanoke when we lived up in Richmond. He was a sound engineer. I was doing promotion for a record label. And music's just been, he was a musician, and we, you know, it's just always been a huge part of our life. So when we started the brewery, it was all about making beer, but we knew we're going to have a tap room. And I was like, well, let's have some music. If you're going to have a tap room, you know, you got to have more than just the beer to draw people, especially in this, what was a weird location at the time. So we started by booking friends of ours and anybody we could get to come through. We were lucky enough to be friends with Gary Jackson, who books up at the Harvester, and he would send people our way that he couldn't book. And, you know, we just started building, you know, a catalog of great musicians that keep coming back.
Well, we appreciate you letting us come in and stream Jazz-Alachian Playboys and letting us just come into basically your home.
Oh, well, thank you so much, and we're happy to do it. We want more people to know about the music we have here because I think it really helps the bands as well. There's a lot of bands that have played here for their first time playing, and now they're playing all over town, and that makes us feel good because we want to support the music and the artists and have a good cold beer while we're at it.
Thanks. And right now we're going to go back to Jazz-Alachian Playboys. What type of music do you all play?
Thank you. Little mashup there. Another swing tune here. Try to be in tune. Not so much because we care, but probably you do. Do you care? Okay. Well, now that we got that straight. Here's one, actually, three of us here. This is Jerry Wood on the fiddle. One of the great fiddle players anywhere. And Eli Williams on the guitar. And Brian Jones on the bass. And I'm Tom Ohmsen. And the three of us here, Eli, Jerry, and myself, we are 3/5 of the band Blue Mule, which also plays around the area a lot. And this is a song from Blue Mule album, came out a couple of years ago. It's called Belleville South. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Thank you. It's called Belleville South. Tribute to Stephen Grappelli and Django Reinhardt. It's another song we do with Blue Mule. Attempt to sing this for you, another original tune. Just recently started redoing this one. It's called Red Dress. And you know I can't help myself. They walk that fine walk, and you know I can talk about you. It's alright, gonna be with you tonight, and baby, you're gonna make you mine. You know, gonna walk that line. I love is a love divine. No one's ever felt this fine. Baby, you wear that red dress, and you know I can't help myself. Baby, I'm an inferno, burning like the sun's own core. They make me feel so fine. You know I'm gonna lose my honey. It's a crying shame. Why do you make me play these games? And baby, I love you so no one else will ever do. I love is a love divine. No one's ever felt this fine. And baby, you wear that red dress, and you know I can't help myself. Do da 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 do da 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 do da 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 do da 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 do da 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 da. Baby, you wear that red dress, and you know I can't help myself. Hey. Baby, you wear that red dress, and you know I can't help myself. And honey, you walk that fine walk, and you know I gotta talk about you. It's alright, gonna be with you tonight, and maybe gonna make you mine. You know I'm gonna walk that line. I love is a love divine. No one's ever felt this fine. Baby, you wear that red dress, and you know I can't help myself. Baby, you wear that red dress, and you know I can't help myself. Thank you. Another kind of swing tune. Poor Eli here. We had a rehearsal yesterday, and he was about deathly ill with stomach ailment. So make sure you realize which beer is yours and not his. He's still a little under weather, but he's doing great for us here. And here's a tune I used to play with the great Buster B. Jones. great guitar player. Used to tour with Chet Atkins and Larry Coryell and Martin Taylor and a whole lot of gypsy guys in Europe. Poor Buster is no longer with us. He died a few years ago at the age of 48, but he was from Roanoke, and he was, you'll have to look him up, Buster B. Jones. Great. So this is one he and I put together called Little Swing House. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. little swing here. Get Eli to sing you one here. It's a kind of put you in mind of the Celtic Isles, the Emerald Isle here. It's called Hills of Glenmorgan.
Fair are the skies of Glenmorgan County. Fair is the light in my baby's eyes. Wondrous are the riches of Glenmorgan's bounty. Heaven's in my baby's eyes. Long are the days since we have parted. Brief is the night when I'm in your arms. Endless are the days from this world when we've departed. Too few are the moments I'm there with you. How I long to see the hills of Glenmorgan. How I long to see that Emerald Isle. How I miss your kisses so early in the morning. Heaven I would give to see you smile. Long are the days since we have parted. Brief is the night when I'm in your arms. Endless are the days from this world when we've departed. Too few are the moments I'm there with you. Long are the days since we have parted. Brief is the night when I'm in your arms. Endless are the days from this world when we've departed. Too few are the moments I'm there with you. Heaven I would give to be with you.
Hate to do this, but I got to do it. It's out of tune that entire last song. The old joke, you probably already heard it, but does anybody know the Italian word for out of tune? It's mandolin. That's their word for out of tune. Been told many times. It's always somebody. All right, try that. So back to a mashup of a fiddle tune. Here's an old one called Blackberry Blossom. On the fiddle. Guess we're going to do you about yeah, one or two more. What we got? Let's see where we're at here. Yeah. Doing all these previous tunes are ones that I wrote or with Mr. Buster B. Jones's help at one point. But this is a song of Eli's here recently called "Moving On."
My bags are packed, I'm at the station. I got a ticket for a brand new destination. Know it's time to go, so with the morning sun, leaving it all behind and moving on. Got tired of living in this dreary little town. Every time you have a dream, they try and shoot it down. Reckon even Jesus wouldn't hang around too long. Me and him are moving on. I've got to go to the place I need to be. Tired of this same old song, broken melody. Somewhere a pot of gold is waiting just for me. Leaving it all behind and moving on. Insanity, do the same thing the same old way, expecting a different ending at the end of the day. Running out of time, I'm about to lose my mind. Heading on down the line, moving on. I got to go to the place I need to be. Tired of this same old song, broken melody. Somewhere a pot of gold is waiting just for me. Leaving it all behind and moving on. I called her up and she said, come on home to me. Leaving it all behind and moving on. The past is dead and gone, moving on.
Eli Williams.
What type of music do you all play?
Jazz-Alachian Playboys is an experiment. It's what we call a mashup. Kids today call a mashup, a hybrid. We're trying to combine Appalachian music, bluegrass, maybe some old time, some folk kind of themes with jazz and swing and blues, and see how that works. I've had several bands over the years that have done that. I had a band about 20 years ago called Acoustic Nova that several of us played in, and another one way back too. So every 10 years or so I kind of get the idea that maybe we can try this again. Not going to set the world on fire, but it's fun for us because we get to experiment with different arrangements and doing things slightly different and trying to make our own identity with it.
And so how do you decide what songs you're going to mash up?
Generally, it's a fairly new venture. It came out of a trio that was where I was playing guitar in that trio, and it was myself on guitar and Brian Jones here on the bass and Jerry Wood on the fiddle, and we were playing a lot of jazz kind of tunes with that, and Eli here, our guitar player, said, well, you know, looks like something I'd have fun with too, so we changed it up. I went back to the mandolin, and so the material is a lot of like bluegrass fiddle tunes we've rearranged for swing styles. Some of them we leave relatively alone. We have a fair number of original tunes, which we'll be doing on this show. And so at this point, it's mostly me bringing in material where I've worked up the arrangements on it. But we've had other members have suggested songs as well.
And so how did you all come together?
Phone call.
Yeah, telephone call.
On a smartphone.
Yeah. A little smarter than me.
Yeah, you had something to deal with there.
Tom called, said, you'd be interested in something like this. I said, sure, that'd be great. Something new.
And we all play in other bands as well. And Brian probably is busier than the rest of us with country, pop, rock bands. That
Top
he
40,
plays with.
whatever.
Top 40.
Grateful Dead.
So, so we all come from, well, we actually all come from a similar background. We've all known each other decades, and we've all, Jerry and I and Eli play in a group called Blue Mule for the last 15 years or so. We've been doing that. And that's bluegrass with a little rock mashed up in it and some of the jazz kind of stuff, but this kind of takes it a little further from the rock thing. And, so basically we've all known each other quite a while.
All right.
So what do you get out of it when you play and take back to your other groups?
Yeah, one of the things I get out of it is it gives me an opportunity to play very creatively, not really in a quote band type context where you got the verse and the chorus and then take a break and then do it again and all this stuff. The music we play leaves you lots of canvas, I would say. You know, you could actually create on, and it's a lot of fun because you have like this blank canvas. Each song has got kind of like a blank canvas in it. You just kind of, okay, I'm going.
But we leave
See how
room
this
to
works.
do
See how, to see how this works
creative
this
thing.
time. And it's a lot of fun. It's just fun.
I know you mentioned earlier it was an experiment, and you said it's a lot of fun. Talk about why you play in this particular group.
It's different than any other thing I do. I play a lot of, I'm in some country bands, like you said, the Grateful Dead type band, bluegrass band, Blue Mule, but I've always loved listening to swing and jazz, but never had the opportunity to play it much, so it's a big learning experience for me, myself, and like you said, I guess fun is about the main definition for any of us. And I hope we keep it going because it's something I actually look forward to where you're not playing a job and looking up at the clock saying, is it time to go yet? Is it time to go yet?
Yeah,
all of us like it a whole lot, and it's just pleasurable to do.
Now, that's what I was going to. What do you hope the people who are listening take home from them after they hear you guys play?
A good time. Have a good time. Life experience.
Hope they see we have fun, and maybe they have fun watching us.
And
Those
here's
that
something
do may
different.
come back.
Here's something different.
Yeah,
Right.
it's definitely different.
Yeah, it's not your normal.
You know, too, and I think since we don't play together with this ensemble all the time, when we have an opportunity to actually play this stuff, it's like, well, hey, how you been, man? Hey, cool. Good to see you. You know, type of deal.
Yeah, we're not tired of seeing each other.
Exactly. You know.
It's great.
Plus, playing this stuff, it gets all. I don't tend to overplay as much in my other bands because I get the freedom to express myself with this band.
Yeah, we all get to overplay in this band.
Yeah, there's
Exactly.
no
Have a good
boundaries.
time.
And
More is
we're okay
more.
with it.
So that's a good way of putting it. You stretch the boundaries on every song you play.
Right.
much, yeah, pretty
there's-
much so.
yeah.
Great. Is there anything else you can think of?
Well, we just encourage people to come out and see us when we're out there. We're playing breweries and some other events around the area, and just trying to have some musical fun.
And support live music.